Hey, soul survivors, we're going to talk about the brain differences and types of neurodivergence. Sometimes this is confused with narcissism, though, so I think it's important to address. So, the exact differences depend on the type of neurodivergent, but here are some general distinctions, and then we'll get into it a little deeper. But the brain structure, autism, there's differences in the connectivity between different areas of the brain. So, for example, overconnectivity in some areas, underconnectivity in others. So, ADHD, you have a reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, and that's what governs the executive functioning, planning, focus, impulse control. Dyslexia is also neurodivergent. Variations in brain areas related to phonological processing, that's the way words sound, and visual verbal integration. Brain chemistry, neurodivergence often involves atypical levels of neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. So, for instance, ADHD is so associated with low dopamine activity in certain brain regions. And we do need dopamine, but we don't want to have an overabundance of it. And the more level it is, the better. So, if you're with a narcissist, they give you those dopamine hits so intermittently, it causes like an addiction. So, we do need dopamine. So, sensory processing, neurodivergent individuals can experience heightened or diminished sensory responses. As an example, people with autism might be hypersensitive to sound or light to where it's actually painful. Cognitive functioning, unique problem solving styles, memory capabilities, and creative thinking. Dyslexia is often associated with strong visual spatial skills. Types of neurodivergent, I got 14 of them for you. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and it's characterized by differences in social interaction, communication. They like repetitive behaviors. Their strengths are pattern recognition, intense focus, and creativity. Some of them can be brilliant. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They have combined ADD, attention deficit disorder, and ADHD with a hyperactivity into one because it's like the brain is hyperactive. Even if they sit still, it's like the brain is hyperactive. So you'll hear ADHD now. And this involves difficulties with attention, sometimes hyperactivity, impulsivity, but they have strengths, high energy, adaptability, and innovative thinking. Dyslexia, this is a learning difference and it affects reading and language processing, but they have strengths. They have strong problem solving and creative skills. Dyscalculia, this challenges with understanding numbers and mathematical concepts, but they have strengths to often excel in verbal or visual areas. Dysgraphia, this is a difficulty in writing, spelling, and organizing thoughts on paper, but they have strong oral communication. And then you have dyspraxia, which is developmental coordination disorder. This impacts motor coordination and sometimes executive functioning. They have strengths, often highly determined and empathetic. They can be extremely kind. Tourette's is neurodivergent. It's characterized by involuntary movements and vocalizations, also known as tics, but they are creative, determined, and they can adapt quite well in situations. SPD, which is sensory processing disorder, difficulty interpreting sensory input, leading to overstimulation or understimulation, but they often have unique insights into sensory details. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, this has marked intrusive thoughts and compulsive behaviors, but they have strengths, attention to detail, strong work ethic. Bipolar disorder, you got alternating periods of high energy known as mania and low energy, which is depression. Their strengths during those creative bursts, they get a lot done and get quite creative. Also, they're resilient. Intellectual disabilities, this is where they have cognitive functioning significantly below average, but it's often accompanied by unique strengths in different areas. Giftedness. Now, it's not a disorder, but gifted individuals may exhibit neurodivergent traits due to their hypersensitivities, emotional intensity, and asynchronous development. Trauma-related neurodivergent conditions like CPTSD can alter brain function, particularly in emotional regulation and memory processing. So if you were neurotypical, you could become neurodivergent after dealing with a narcissist. So it's important to heal and get back to whatever's right for you. Schizoaffective disorders or schizophrenia, they have differences in perception, cognition, their thought process, and sensory processing. But they do have strengths. They're highly imaginative and intuitive, but they do have challenges if they're neurodivergent. They can have difficulty fitting into the rigid societal or educational expectations, struggles with sensory overload, executive functioning, or communication. And there is a stigma and misunderstanding of their differences. They're just trying to fit into this world that seems foreign to them. But they have strengths, unique problem-solving approaches, creative thinking, innovation, ability to hyper-focus or excel in specialized fields. So the prognosis, by understanding neurodivergent, people can thrive in environments that actually value their strengths and accommodate their needs. Therapies and accommodations, tools like therapy, coaching, assistive technologies, and modified environments can help. And acceptance and awareness are vital to reducing the stigma and fostering inclusion. So as you can see, neurodivergent challenges are the idea of a single normal brain, and it highlights the incredible variety of human thinking, feeling, and perception. So when these people are supported, neurodivergent individuals often excel in unique and unexpected ways. It's just a different way to tap into what makes them special, what makes them different. Be a boring world if we were all the same. If this will help somebody, or please share. But if there's a specific type of neurodivergent that you would like to know more about, comment below and I'll make special videos related to that. See you in the next video.